Hello, this is Tina Falk from Via Feng Shui, and Jeremy from Create with Jay is joining me today for
Hi,
our monthly energy update. Jeremy, it's so good to see you. What a
good to
month has
see
this
you too.
been?
Crazy.
Oh my gosh, right? And I know we talked a lot about this stuff in the Chinese New Year event. Speaking of
Yeah,
the
we did.
tiger energy, the symbol of war, power, authority, prestige. I mean, Putin couldn't be a greater example of that tiger, that Siberian tiger energy. And I think he
Yeah,
even strutted around a lot with in photographs and stuff with that kind of
yeah,
energy. And so
yeah.
this past month, we've been in a tiger month in a tiger year. Let's talk about tomorrow or the next day. What energy is coming here in March? What are you seeing?
Well, we're moving from the yang water tiger into the yin water rabbit. So
Hmm.
when you think about the difference between the tiger, that fierceness, that aggression, that warlike energy, into the rabbit, which is all about being sensitive. It's all about using your senses. That's why the rabbit has those big ears because it can kind of sense and hear things that are coming. So it's very, very different energies.
Just the picture I'm seeing as you're talking is, how we talk about the lion and the lamb energy of the transition.
Yeah.
And, I
Yeah.
know a lot of times we wonder, is spring going to come in like a lion or is it going to come in like a lamb? I don't even know if that's the right saying. But that's where we're going from, is that kind of, I mean, lions and tigers are man hunters, they're meat eaters, and they want to, you know, pounce on their prey. And now we're talking about rabbits that are usually the ones that are pounced upon, right?
Yeah.
And so, like
Yeah.
you said, that level of compassion and community and wanting to protect, I think is
Yeah.
really what hopefully the whole mind shift will, or the conversation around this will shift more into a compassionate thing. What do you,
Yeah.
especially even with the yin water, because yin water is
Yeah.
more manageable, right?
It is. And like February has hit all of us like a big, gigantic wave.
Hmm.
And with yang water, with that ocean energy, there's no controlling it. If you're in the middle of a
Yeah.
storm in the middle of the ocean, you just got to hold on tight for dear life. There's nothing you can do. Whereas with yin water, it's going to be a little bit of a lighter energy. I think that, like you said, it's more manageable. You can grab an umbrella in a rainstorm to
Hmm.
keep
Keep safe.
dry.
Hmm. Yeah, and
So there's a vast difference.
yes, and the rabbit's element is wood. And so that's growth. It's the same as the tiger,
Yeah.
but this is a growth and it's new beginnings. It's the beginning of spring here in the Western world. And with this water, I think we need to get back to the conversation we had at the beginning of the Chinese New Year, where this is a year about decisions. It is a year about choice. So if the rabbit is wood energy and that's the garden, and the water is manageable water, what gardens are you going to tend to? Are you going to stand out in your backyard and water weeds? Are you going to stand and make sure that your neighbor's grass looks green? Or are you going to focus on your garden, the seeds that you've planted, the things that
Mhm.
you want for the future that are going to feed you and bring joy and abundance to your life rather than letting it just turning on the hose and letting it go. So I think we have
Yeah.
such an opportunity to really establish new ideas, new growth, new beginnings. Just really, that tiger is still there. We can't forget about the tiger energy. So we still want to be focused and fierce about what we're hungry for. And
Yeah.
this is the time to plant those seeds.
Yeah, it is. And whatever you're focusing on, being the seeds that you're focusing on, planting those and watering those ideas, placing an emphasis and placing energy on the positivity of what you want to create for 2022, because
Mm-hmm.
the energy of 2022 is very different from 2021. 2021 was all about slow, steady, hard work. This year is going to fly by in an instant with the
Mm-hmm.
tiger energy.
Yeah.
So the rabbit's coming in to kind of show us, where do we want to plant our seeds? What kind of things do we want to focus on? What creative ventures do we want to start this
Mm-hmm.
month?
The other thing I'm being reminded of is that the rabbit sits in the east, which is about past, present, and future, right? We're
Yeah.
really getting a reflection on, whether we're talking about the things that are happening in Europe right now with Russia. It's like a lot of this energy is about holding on to the past, reestablishing the Soviet Union, getting these states back into my control versus future. We're stuck in it right now. And these are the
Mm-hmm.
choices that we're making between, do we go backwards? Do we try to hold on to something we thought was good or that was comfortable or we know it? Or do we want to step
Right.
into the unknown and plant those seeds? And I love how you said plant, like we're the seed. What are we
Mhm.
watering? What are we doing for ourselves to make sure that we are a part of the future in,
Yeah.
in, in a new world?
What future do we want to create?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and before you and I were talking about the energy that's happening right now and how heavy it is and how intense it is. But like you said, it's all about shifting your focus into what you want to create. What is it that you want to bring into the world? What do you want to give birth to? It's
Mm-hmm.
that kind of spring energy where there's new budding ideas that are breaking through the soil that we need to water.
Those ideas too, they're not coming from what you're watching on the news or reading on Twitter. They come from here. They come from your imagination, your dreams, your daydreams, your night dreams, your doodles, what people reach out to you for, your gift. That's where this comes from. We're not to be
Mhm.
driven and make these choices based on external motivators. They need to come from
Oh,
within. That's the seed, right?
right. It is the seed. And we spent all of 2021 preparing for it,
Mm-hmm.
preparing for this time
Yes.
when everything's fertile, that we can plant the ideas, plant the seeds, and see them come forth. But it's going to be quick. It's not something we're waiting for this year. Things are going to happen at great speed.
So talk a little bit about how Pisces, because that is the Western view. How does that correlate?
Yeah. So it's Pisces season. So Pisces is all about empathy. It's all about sensitivity,
Mm,
very similar to the rabbit. It's all
okay.
about an energy of bringing things together. And we have on Wednesday the new moon in Pisces. And new moon energy is a great time to manifest. Pisces energy is there's no boundaries to what we can create with Pisces. In Western astrology, Pisces is the sign of endings. So this is going to be a time where we can close the book on things that
Oh.
have been holding us back and open the book on things, just like you said, that rabbit energy of past, present, and future, going
Mm,
into a future and bringing it forth. New moon energy is all about writing down a list of intentions, writing down things that you dream. What are your biggest dreams?
mm,
What have you been not, um, where have you been holding yourself back in your dreams? Are you dreaming big enough?
yeah. Now, if we write
This is the
those
time.
things down, because there's a lot of water energy, do we want to like release them to the water?
Well, I look at it a little bit differently. I kind of tell people to go to their Western and Eastern charts
Mm-hmm.
and figure out which element they're dominant in. And whatever energy they have a dominance in, I tell them to use that element. So if
Ooh.
you do have a really high water chart,
Mm-hmm.
and since this is a high water year, absolutely use it. Go up into the mountains, release it, put it in the river, and watch it kind of disintegrate.
Now, when I do,
Um,
just for a tip, when I do things and release them in the water, I'll write with pencil on like tissue paper, like
yeah, so that it
wrapping
can,
tissue paper, something that's
yeah,
going to, break down quickly. Now, if
yeah,
you're high earth like me, that would mean bury. Bury my
Yes.
intentions.
Dig a hole and bury it into the
Mhm.
earth. Yeah.
Now, what
Yeah.
if now fire, of course, would be releasing it to fire. Wood
Yeah.
would be wind. That would
Wood
be
would be wood. Wood and metal translates into Western astrology as air. So
okay.
you could do one of two things with wood. You could set your intentions and plant it into the soil
Mm,
of a new plant. If you
yeah.
use that tissue paper, those roots are going to grow through that tissue paper and
Hmm.
give root to those ideas.
Lovely. Oh, great ideas. I
Yeah.
like that.
The other thing you could do is if you've got a balcony somewhere and there's a kind of a blustery or windy day, again, that tissue paper that is going to kind of disintegrate,
Mm-hmm.
you could let it release into the air and let the
Mm-hmm.
air take it away.
Yeah. Ooh, so many ideas. Well,
Yeah.
this is good. Do you have anything else before we love when you pull cards. So do you have anything else
Yes,
you want
let's
to
pull a
add?
card. Let's pull
Okay.
a card. The energy's kind of intense right now. So
Hmm.
let's pull a card that's going to bring us. Ooh, I love this. So this is the Wizard of Awareness. Okay. And the Wizard of
Mm,
Awareness, what it's kind of an image of like, I don't know if you watch Lord of the Rings, but it looks like Gandalf the Grey to me. And he's got that big staff with kind of a light at the end of it. And so what he's doing is he's lighting the path to new ideas and bringing awareness to where we are, bringing awareness to our heart center so that we can stay centered in the midst of all of the crazy energy. It's
mm,
kind of like finding the eye of the storm,
hmm.
being aware of what's going on inside of all of us and realizing that the outward expression of what's going on inside of all of us is happening in the world. So when we can center and be aware of that,
Mm.
that's what helps us to really focus on those new ideas that are coming.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect ending. Thank you. And of course, there's links down below if anybody wants to reach out to get a reading by Jeremy or myself. Jeremy, you do Western and Eastern readings
I
so
do
people can pick one or the other or a combo with you.
a combo, yeah.
Okay,
And then
awesome.
we in the combo reading's cool because then you can kind of see how those energies play together
Hmm.
because they're like puzzle pieces. Anything that's not answered in the Eastern is answered in the Western and vice versa.
Yeah, my two charts, the way you presented, they really do complete one another.
They
Where
do.
I'm lacking in one, it shows up in another chart. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that dualistic perspective,
Yeah.
the East and the
Yeah. And
West.
the amazing thing about the Eastern chart, though, is that we can transfer that energy into our homes. We can
Mm,
see where in our homes where that energy shows up for us, so that if there is an imbalance happening for the year or for in our lives, we can find where that balance needs to be corrected and we can correct it.
that's what we're all about.
That's right.
All right, my friend, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone. We'll see you next month. Bye bye.
Bye.